banko kola ala makela banko e kairati mba fola force le die ko musolu la ministre tonya ala bika mistake ay nyim muso ta ka ke president sonno moto aketa kuleti min keta banko e sabatoti kadu aisatu bika diamu adala abika tama singola abika jibero ka nyala akabe ke president ya jamelela aisatu abaraka wolo mu kafunyo yati wolo mu nyatonka yati mbe mfanana govanolu kadu president e kuke jan sanji kemenani sanji talulu arele manke Afrika fangol to sego Gambia kamuso ta ka ke govanoti mandingol ko kumandango kumo danta daminno bari mba folo maye ko nimbe wo sindila mba sarbiletla mba tambindila ning Aisatu yale letele be tambila na nyi muso bodni nye paketo kono wolo mu Aminata Sifai Haidara West Coast Powerhouse Gambia kono kadunia je mala mango Powerhouse mobe yalo ne nim politiko lobu West Coast lom Powerhouse di engine room be kombo not mbali tentula mbali jaila wasalam.
And I understand the Vice President is also supporting West Coast. Now I have the singular honor and pleasure to call on our first female governor, who is our hostess, not host but hostess today, Mrs. Aminata Sifai Haidara.
Madam Chairperson of this August gathering, Your Excellency, the First Lady, Madam Zainab Yahya Jammeh, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Ajaratu Aissatou Njie Sedi, our mother, our brother, Honorable Momodu Sabali, Secretary General and Head of Civil Service, Permanent Secretary, Office of the First Lady, Permanent Secretary, Office of the Vice President and other permanent secretaries here present, the United Nations system in the Gambia, service chiefs, my deputy, Field Marshal Bakar Jaite, mayors and regional governors here present, our invited guests from Senegal and Morocco, the paramount chief of the Gambia and other chiefs here present, particularly my own chief of Combo Central, Dembo Kelenjamboja, the chairperson of National Women's Council, and lady councillors all over the Gambia, the executive director of Women's Bureau and staff, the president Gambia Women's Federation, former speakers of the National Assembly here present, the APRC National Women Mobilizer, my sister Aissatou Jifanga Jaju, the chairman Birkama Area Council, the TAC of West Coast Region, women and youth leaders here present, my own mother, Ajakono Sane and family, venerable religious leaders, all protocols respectfully observed. Ladies and gentlemen, I will first and foremost thank the Almighty Allah for His bounties for us to witness yet another auspicious day, celebrating International Women's Day as a day to reflect on the progress that has been accorded to women. We don't have to wait for March 8 to remember International Women's Day. Each time we go to the polls, or each day we walk into a clean, safe work environment, we can only thank those who started the journey way back in 1914. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Madam First Lady, please allow me, on behalf of Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Dr. Aissatou Njie Sedi, the Paramount Chiefs, National Assembly members of West Coast Region, the Chairman of Birkama Area Council, the beautiful women of West Coast Region, and indeed the youth, and the entire people of my region, and on my own behalf, I wish to warmly welcome everyone on this ground here, Birkama, the capital seat of West Coast Region. We, the people of West Coast Region, Madam Chairperson, are very thrilled and honored to host this year's International Women's Day. And we thank you sincerely for having responded to our invitation, despite your busy schedules. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are all aware, ideally, International Women's Day is normally celebrated on 8th March. But here in the Gambia, this period coincides with the 58th session of the Convention on the Status of Women, that is the CSW, usually held in New York. That's the reason why we are celebrating it here, because Ma and a delegation usually attends this important gathering. This year's theme, as we already are informed by the chairperson, is Pan-Africanism and the African Renaissance in the context of gender and the empowerment of women and youth. It is very apt. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to realize the concept of African Renaissance, African women must lead the drive, as we constitute 52% of the African continent. Our voices need to be heard at the discussion tables, given our role in nation building. Although most of the time, no economic value is attached on the role we play in nation building. However, here in the Gambia, the issue of marginalization of women is addressed thanks to our able leader and President of the Republic of the Gambia and the leader of our great party, Sir Professor Alhaji Dr. Yaya AJJ Jammeh, who doubles as our father. My fellow women, what more can we ask for? I said, nothing absolutely. I personally and the women of West Coast region generally have nothing more to ask, but to instead thank His Excellency through our able wife for believing in us. We want to thank him for believing in his hopes and not his fears and doubts. Inshallah, we will make him proud. We will live up to expectation. We know it takes God, gallantry and courage to trust and bestow leadership on women. Ladies and gentlemen, my appointment as the governor of the country's largest region is testimony to the fact that the sky is not the limit, but the beginning for the Gambian women. I therefore thank the Most High Allah, the Almighty, for His blessing and for making everything possible. Aware of the huge task before us, I therefore seek His guidance and direction in due execution of my duties as the first woman governor ever in the history of our motherland, the Gambia. I am pleased, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to singularly thank and express gratitude to the man who made it possible and to the man who made it happen, our dear President. I don't need to remind you that he's the #1 promoter and champion of women empowerment in this great country. Indeed, he does not make policies and abandon them. President Jammeh vows to strive and uplift us to unimaginable and enviable heights. He has transformed us from followers to decision makers, moved us from the streets of Birkama to the seat of governorate, from the backyard of Jifanga to the corridors of power at the APRC powerhouse in Kanifing. Women are no more peripheral to the development agenda of our great country. We are central in all development pillars in the country. Women are in the commands of the various security services, in politics, in businesses, in agriculture, education, you name it. All this is made possible because there is a political will from our leader, no other person than the President of the Republic. We are aware that 2012 was considered as African Women's Decade, and the theme was agriculture and food security. This, however, coincides with our great leaders' thinking of Vision 2016 agenda on food self-sufficiency. Our great leader has been advocating for this for years. He calls for a sharper focus on food security in an increasingly dynamic and challenging global economic environment. Food security is indispensable to national security. He said, regarding Africa's lost glory can only come about when we take full control of our Allah-given natural resources, process and sell them as finished products instead of continue to export them as raw materials. That is great. To my fellow women, you all know that it is work in progress for us. The microfinance project that I am running in Combo Central would be expanded to other areas of my region.